57-kilogram world teamer Spencer Lee. Spencer, since Final X, what has been your focus? What has been your approach? What did you take from that experience, and how has that maybe impacted your training?
I think I've just been trying to create more opportunities in my wrestling, just doing more really. I know that I can hold mat and hold position against anyone, but I'm a guy who wants to score points, and I haven't really been doing that. So I know I was kind of hard on myself, but I just think I have a lot of potential, and I haven't really shown what I'm capable of in any of my matches really. So I'm just trying to go out there and score points, and more or less just have fun and just make it more of a fight. So.
What has the message from Coach Tom Brand's been to you?
Oh, he's just very, very adamant on like moving your hands and feet the whole time, always pressuring the guy, making him feel your pressure. You don't always have to have your hands on the guy. I mean, pressure is different for everyone. So, my pressure is different than, Caliendo's pressure. We're very different, right? But pressure is the same thing. It's what impose onto that guy. So it's just constantly staying on the guy and, not focusing on things you can't control and just not being focused on like being tired or doing anything. That just wrestle. Just don't think. Just wrestle.
I feel like during your college career, it was a lot of you kind of almost pursuing, trying to create those opportunities because the guys kind of knew like if I engage with this guy, it's not going to go well. Have you felt as you've been wrestling more internationally, guys approach you a little differently? Is it a similar problem, but they just have a better physical skill set, or what is it?
I mean, I think it's the same. I mean, people don't really go after me like that. I mean, they're just very, very, almost like smart and very tactical. I would say very smart with choices and shot choices and timing and maybe slowing the match down a little bit. So that's kind of what people have been doing to me a lot. Very counter attack focused, counter attack based. I mean, most guys don't really just like blast me or go for anything like that. So but I mean, there are obviously exceptions to the rule. I mean, I've had guys obviously shoot and do stuff. I'm not saying people don't do anything against me, but I would say for the majority, it's like hold position, stay in the middle of the mat, kind of just stay there. Not less actions probably favors them. I think so.
Certainly true.
Yeah, so.
One thing I've heard about you is like when you're really like wrestling at your best and you don't even like remember what's happened. How do you get into that like mind? I mean, for someone that's like pretty much everyone listening and like they maybe don't even understand that. Like, how do you get into that kind of a mental space, and how do you replicate that maybe?
Well, I think that's the hard part for me right now is trying to replicate that and get back to that kind of. I think that I've been different for like the last couple of years in that way where I'm very cognizant of being in the middle of the mat or wrestling, and I think that's bad for a sport where reactive wrestling and proactive wrestling is important. Not thinking, you're slower if you're thinking, I have to dodge, like a punch, you're gonna get hit in the face, I mean, so like if you just like react and you move just naturally, I think that's like what I try to explain to people. I think wrestling for me is more or less an instinctive thing. Like I need to go out there and just let things happen. That's what I mean. The most thing Tom probably yells at me in practice is just like stop thinking, stop moving, like just do it. Like the more you think, the more that you are overthinking, probably the less good you're doing to yourself. And it's the same thing. Like, oh, you don't want to climb the rope. You're thinking about it. Just jump on the rope and just go. Like you just make your body do it and stuff like that. So that's just what we've been working on.
Yeah. Trying to think where I want to go next. Oh, I know. So I feel like we're entering like the Jack Spencer Lee era. Like you're getting bigger and stronger looking. Like you were always like overpowering guys. But how have you been able to like kind of change your body and get bigger and stronger seemingly? And how has that impacted your wrestling?
Well, I think that when you get out of college, you just naturally get a little bigger. I mean, when you go from making weight every single week, you have to have a lighter, approach to your weight class, your weight. I mean, you can't weigh 145 pounds and wrestle 125 weekly. You wouldn't survive. So when I was in college, I was barely above 130, probably the majority of my college career. So when you get out of college and you make weight at scratch, like for me, it was Final X, now Worlds. I've only made scratch weight once, so it's like you don't have to make 125 consistently. So you just naturally get bigger, and you're more focused on. For me, it's more focused on health and just feeling good because I only wrestle guys who are bigger in the room. So it isn't a bad thing to be a little bit heavier, But I mean, I think it helps. I mean, it does make the weight cut probably a little harder, but you have to be more dedicated, and that's in that front. And you just got to eat cleaner and be, rest is super important, and just be super on top of that. And I mean, then it's easy, and you just go out and do your thing. So.
You guys were at Colorado Springs
Mm.
for World Team Camp. What was that experience like? You were the guy for the Olympics, you're the guy now. What's that experience like? Getting that kind of focus from not just your coaches but USA staff as well.
Well, I mean, it's good because they are more of the people that scout guys and tell you who's in the weight class and what to look for, and then they give that information to my coaches, and then they can utilize that information to be able to, maybe work on things for practice and, just be aware of things that people are capable of doing out there. So I think that's super important. And then they always, like Coach Zadek always likes to look at trends, like
Mm-hmm.
what's popular this year, what moves are people doing. Like I think last year a lot of it was like drags like the most popular thing, and like this year it's not so much drags, right? So like he's able to like kind of find that out, and he'll have highlight tapes of what people are doing. And for him, he was very adamant on like parterre this year, like with turns and everything. So I think that's just obviously favors me. I mean, I prefer parterre. I like parterre, so you just got to get there, so.
Yeah. um, I remember talking to you. I mean, this was years ago, but you were a guy that just watched a lot of international wrestling, not
Yeah.
necessarily for preparation, just it's just what you like to do. Now that you kind of know the field, is that something you do for, they're scouting for you, but are you sitting and watching the North Korean, the Russian?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, not really. I'm not like I said, that's something that Coach Sadek will and Coach Russell will find out things he thinks that are important to know about each opponent, and then Tom and Dennis and Terry will kind of prep me on that and tell me what to do. And I mean, I've obviously watched pretty much everyone in my weight class wrestle just inadvertently, just watching wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna like watch a ranking tournament and then skip my weight class on purpose. I mean, if it's the wrestling, and all those guys have been in my brackets. I mean, of everyone in that bracket, I bet close to like 60% of them I've had in a bracket with me already since I've been competing. Not that I've competed a heck of a whole lot, so just the field's pretty known.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of the guys already, so and they obviously know me. So everyone knows what to expect. You just got to go out there and do what you do best, and maybe make a little changes and be different. So.
For American fans, a lot of people for years were excited about the potential match with Roman Bravo Young. You guys wrestled, and now the way it's seeded, if you two were to wrestle, it would be in the semifinal. How much have you thought about that? The rematch, you won the first match, you got up 6-0 and were able to win that one. How much are you thinking about, okay, yeah, I may have to wrestle this guy again?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, he's a strong opponent. He's very very athletic, super skilled. So, I mean, it's a tough bracket. Like I said, there's a lot of guys that are. I think the unseeded guys might be
Mm-hmm.
tougher than the seeded guys going into that. So you never know who you're going to get. I think that's very important. So, obviously my obvious focus is just one match at a time. I think that's all I can focus on. So, but he's obviously someone in the bracket that everyone knows is out there and very tough. So.
Yeah, I've noticed in your competition lately, you've been able to pretty consistently attack both sides of the body, and maybe years ago with health things, you were feeling like there were certain attacks you couldn't take. How how full would you say your arsenal is right now? What you feel like you can go out and hit?
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of a funny thing to say because I feel like in practice, I can do just about anything. And then I get into a match and I have like 2 shots. So I feel like I just need to open up a little bit more and show what I'm capable of a little bit more. And I mean, one of the things I said at Final X is just go watch me practice. Like I'm a way different wrestler. And I think that's frustrating to be a better practice wrestler than a competition wrestler. When I feel like in the past, I'd always said I'm always going to be better in a match. And I feel like it's kind of swapped for me. And I need to find a way to be more open out in the mat.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I mean, I feel like you're still maybe it's just your progression in wrestling though too, right? Like you're getting a lot better, and maybe like you're just honing your tactics a little more. Do you think that's
I mean, maybe. I
possible?
mean, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to win. I mean, you don't always have the opportunity or ability to dominate everybody. I mean, that's the goal, obviously. But there are guys that have something to say about that, and they want to win too. So they're gonna go out there and have a game plan, wrestle hard, wrestle smart. And sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do to win. So.
Yeah, I saw the video you training with Drake Ayala. What is it like having a guy like him? What you seen from him? How have you kind of mentored and helped and worked with someone like Drake who's had a lot of success?
Yeah, no, he's great because he gives that like kind of like 125-pounder feel in practice, because I feel like most of the guys I wrestle, like DeSanto or like Sorensen, they're like bigger, and obviously Drake's not much smaller than DeSanto, but it's
Hmm.
just different because like he's in the college wrestling scene. He's used to making weight weekly. Like he's was a 25-pounder. We've wrestled a lot. He's improved a lot over the last 4 or 5 years, and I think he's even improved since his NCAA finals match this year. Even he's just been doing a really good job. So I'm very excited to keep working with him because I think that he has a lot of potential that he hasn't shown. He's very good when he's on a leg. He finishes really really
Hmm.
well. Obviously, he's got to get to the leg. I mean, that was kind of his problem in the NCAA finals, and I can relate to that. It's my problem in the Olympic finals. So I don't even think I touched the guy's leg. So so we get it. So we're working together. We talk about a lot of stuff. I think that's really important to just kind of talk through positions and focus on that. But he's been great. He was my training partner in the Olympics last year. Him, Lugo, were my training partners in the Olympics last year. So
Is who's your training partner for Worlds?
Brandon Sorensen.
Okay, cool, cool. Um, you've entered a lot of tournaments as a favorite. You're gonna be the favorite. You're ranked number one in the world. Um, what is it like entering the tournament as a favorite? Is it harder when you're the guy to beat? Do you like being an unknown? I mean, that's kind of a rare situation for you to not be a favorite.
Well, I mean, it's always fun either way. I think. I mean, if you're the underdog, then you feel like you got something to prove, and if you're the number one guy, then you got something to prove that you are the number one guy. I think it's the same thing. I think that the pressure is whatever you want to put on yourself, and I think that people who let pressure overtake them is a negative for their like career, because you should just enjoy it. It's fun having people chase after you because you're doing something right. And obviously then it also means that you have to keep improving your wrestling and your technique and your ability and your game all around. Because if you stay the same, then people are going to pass you up and they're going to figure out how to deal with what you're doing. So,
What's your favorite part of competition?
I mean, I just love just the wrestling, like the competing one on one. Really, I
Hmm.
mean, honestly, it's just knowing that you put all that work and time in and go out there and like show the fruits of your labor. I mean, I do like competing, but like I said, it's different in freestyle. There's not a whole lot of competition like that you can go to. Like you could go to a lot, but I'm talking more like that's worth it.
Hmm.
And plus almost every tournament's plus 2 kilos, and I prefer to make 25 than plus 2 kilos. But
Right.
what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Worlds are in Croatia this year. It just excited. You wrestled in that, I think,
Mhm.
the very venue that it's going to
I
be
was,
in.
yep.
How was that? How was Croatia just for you?
Croatia was fine. I feel like they had a lot of things that just were good. I mean, they had like a good mat space, and they had like saunas, and they had like good locker rooms. I mean, it's just very, very like overseas. You never know what you're gonna get,
Yeah.
and that's not like a shot at any country or anything. It's just the stuff that we are used to, maybe in like America or like wrestling countries, is different than in countries that aren't really. I mean, because Croatia doesn't even have like a wrestling team really. I mean, but like the arena there, like it's like a handball arena. It was literally sold out like the 2 days before the tournament. I mean, I'm talking like there was like every seat taken.
Really?
Oh yeah. So
For
like,
handball.
oh yeah. So like soccer and handball, I bet that country goes absolutely insane over it. But it was just funny because like it was literally sold out, and then like 2 days later we were wrestling. There was like 10 people in the stands.
Dang it.
So it's like, oh, that stinks. But obviously they love their sports, and I think the country is supposed to be super, super, super safe. I mean,
Yeah.
Zagreb's I feel like it's like a top 5 safest city in the world. So I mean, my family's gonna go. I'm glad that it's a place that's comfortable and safe, and they're gonna have a good time. There's a beach, a couple hours away. Maybe they'll go to that. I mean, who knows? I mean, it just seems like it's like a vacation and for them, and have some fun, and then watch me go out there and do the best I can.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really excited to watch you wrestle, Spencer. Anything else? Or do you have anything, Tyler?
Sure.
All right.
Um,
Good.
the only question I have is you're a guy who's struggled with injuries in the past. What's it been like, assuming there was nothing that we don't know about, having a full year to train, feeling like yourself almost? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the fun part of it, is just like kind of getting back to, I would say, like normalcy for me, like just being able to do things that I haven't been doing for years and years. Like just like an example would be like judo stuff, like being able to use my feet, or like and throws and things like that. I haven't been able to do that at all because I couldn't like plant on my one leg or plant on both feet and stuff. So just stuff like being able to even like threaten stuff like that and utilize that, regardless if I ever use it in the future. But like it's just funny because like obviously my parents have a judo background and I used to do a lot of judo stuff. Like when I first got into college, there was like a joke like I was good for one. Like I would always foot sweep you. Like first time we wrestled, but now it's like you've never seen me hit a foot sweep in my life. I mean, I think Flo posted the first match I wrestled in college, and I hit like I caught his foot, right? But no, but like I had a Russian, and I hooked his foot like ankle pick, you know. But like I used to use my feet a lot more. But like when your legs don't move and you can't do stuff like that. So I think it's fun being able to even just like play wrestle and like work on things that I was doing in 10 years ago that that was made me who I was, So instead of changing to like this blocky walking at people, slow motion kind of person that I had to kind of change myself into when I was hurt. So I'm getting older too, so it's like you're getting less athletic a little bit, but then you're able to do things you weren't able to do 10 years ago. So it is a little funny for me. So
That's awesome.
I remember another thing I wanted to ask about. These videos that Hawkeye Wrestling Club has been posted of you that kind of end. Is that like kind of the end of training, like the final portion of the workout, like where you're just like basically exhausting yourself and like going all out?
I mean, mostly, yeah. Most of the stuff that they've been posting has been like the end of workout stuff, just like kind of me like already finishing up the workout. I'm already like the work's been done, already tired, or like the last couple live goes, and I just don't have like a lot left in the tank, and they're just like this. You got to push through this. You got to push through this. They're kind of showing that part of it, which I think is cool. But.
Yeah. Do you enjoy when you're training? Do you enjoy live the most? Do you enjoy like hitting holds? What's your favorite aspect?
I mean, my favorite thing to do is to spar. Obviously, I like play wrestling and sparring. But like at the same time, like that always kind of goes into live, which I like. I prefer to do it that way. Like I like to spar with someone, and then they kind of keep raising their level, and I'll just match it. Because DeSanto is another person going to the Worlds with me, and same with the guy named Jesse Ibarra. So and Ibarra is really a really good wrestler. He's like the most athletic dude I've maybe ever wrestled. But he was in the lineup. He was behind me, Drake, and Real over the years. So he hasn't really had tough guys to be behind. So it's like 5 or 6 national finalists there. So he's a guy that like. It's really fun to spar with him because he's so athletic. Like if you just mess up, he's gonna toss you. I mean, he's tossed me more times than I can even count. And then DeSanto is really fun to spar with because we just kind of build really fast. Like it's like we go really light and then it just accelerates. And Tom would even say that, hey, just start sparring. And like wherever it goes, let it go. Like it gets in the live, go to live. And that's what I like. We just keep picking it up, kind of matching that level just rising. So that's what I like to do because you just like work into it. When it's just like immediately live, like. I think that's like for me. I need to like almost like just like have fun a little bit, and then like I'm ready to go. Like warm up too. It's like everything. So.
What's the clue or what's the moment with DeSanto where you're like, oh, he just took it up to the live level?
Well, it's more like for him, it's like because he'll like kind of let you on your leg when you're sparring, and then it's like when he stuffs you and like hits you hard, and like you just feel like you can just feel the change. Like, and then it's like, oh, I gotta pick it up. Like he's ready. He's rearing. He's ready to go because he like starts smiling, like because he starts having fun, like because like he's able to go all out against me, and I'm not gonna like fold, So, and I feel like it's kind of hard for him because he's so high pace, and I can match that, and I can hang with him, and I think he loves that because like I'm also very athletic, so like and I'm a good counter and stuff. So if he does anything bad, like I will capitalize off it. So like he knows that he can't like just like 0 to 100 go crazy and run at me and like take a bad shot, like just force things. Because then he'll get punished for it. So like the sparring is what kind of like lets him like learn how to not do that. He's able to like not take a really bad shot, like thinking he has to be offensive. He's able to like kind of like, oh, I can just fake here, like I can touch the leg, And like I think it's helped his wrestling a lot too, because then you can build into it. Like, oh, I felt it, oh, it's there, now I can fake and go shot, like so things like that. So I think that's a good way to kind of like build into live. So,
what's the best part of being coached? Oh, you want to get that?
Next one.
Next light. Go? No. You're not going to want to do that. Sure? All right. We're going to work Tyler's deltoids here.
You're going to get strong.
Yeah. What is the best part about being coached by Tom Brands?
I just like the way he talks to you. He's very vocal, very like honest, just telling you exactly like why you're doing this and what you're doing this for, like, you know, or he'll just go, hey, trust me, we're gonna do this, just trust me, and you just, all right, I'm in, I'm ready, you know, like just very, very like open, and he's open to discussion. Like, I'm getting older, like, hey, I'm super sore today, okay, we'll change it up, let's do this today. Like, he's just like, you know, I think that being able to adapt to workouts is very important as a coach. So
What's maybe like a piece of advice, or maybe not even advice, just like a message he's given you that really resonated with you and you feel like, oh man, this has really helped me competitively?
oh, he's given a lot of good advice. I guess recently he's been very, very focused on just like like the time doesn't matter. Like, just wrestle. Like, it doesn't matter what the score is, what the time is, if you're passive, it doesn't matter. You just wrestle, just focus on wrestling, and you're gonna do, like, you're gonna score points, you're gonna win matches. Like, because he's like, you just gotta, you're overthinking, just relax, but like, you don't want to be too relaxed, you know, so you gotta find the happy medium. You know, so I think that's been hard for me. He's been really trying to find that space to get me there, you know, whether it's better warm up or better, you know, whatever. We've been working a lot on that. So I think that the advice for me is just like, hey, you got to stop like getting in your own head. Like, you are, like he always says, you are the best wrestler in the world. You just got to go out there and just do it. Just wrestle. Just have fun. Just score points. Like, you will win if you do that, you know. But you're gonna limit yourself if you're thinking and you're overthinking. So
Yeah, I think that's how everyone probably sees you right now, Spencer. Definitely the
oh,
best
I
in the world.
appreciate it. I mean, it's just funny because people will say like you're the GOAT or you're like the best, and I'm like, I'm not even like top 5 in my weight class, or I haven't even won anything yet, or I haven't achieved anything I even set out to do, you know. And people are like, man, that's just so harsh, but like the reality, that is what it is, you know. And regardless if you think I'm being too hard on myself, that's just the truth of the matter. I mean, I set out to win gold medals, and I have 0 gold medals, so it's like, what do you want me to say, you know? Yeah, it doesn't matter how good you think I am. It matters how well you do when the lights are on, you know, shine the brightest. So
Yeah, but you know, Croatia could be the culmination of that goal.
Yeah, well, one day at a time, we're gonna get there. Right now, it's focused on staying healthy and you know, weight, obviously, weight control and health. Right now, those are the priorities, because, and obviously training is the most important thing, but those are the priorities right now, because that's what's going to get you to the tournament. And you don't make weight, you don't wrestle, and if you're not healthy, then you're probably not 100%. It's probably hard to win too. So
Yeah. What's the biggest you've ever been, Spencer?
I think the biggest I ever saw on the scale was like after surgery. It was like 145.
Okay.
Yeah, that was bad.
Well, after surgery, you probably couldn't do much.
No, double knee surgery was rough. I mean, at that time, I had never seen above 138 ever.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Ever. So like when they like looked at me, I was also doing like, I had like an NIL deal with like a Meta or Instagram, right? And I had to do like posts for it. And they were like, what are you gonna post? And I was like, I don't know. I don't do social media. I suck at this. So I was like, I'll just do pull-ups. So I just did pull-ups and started doing weighted pull-ups. And I think I got like kind of big, like, you know? And then I was also like just eating what I want and like, you know, not wrestling, not training, you know, and all of a sudden they're like, what do you weigh? Go step on the scale. I stepped on, I was like 45, and I was like, oh my God, you know. And I've never ever, I don't weigh anywhere near that now, but you know, I'm always in the 30s for sure. But I definitely have gotten a lot bigger since college. So
yeah.
But that's natural. What can you do? You make weight once or twice a year at 25, and it's 130 the rest. And you know, you're older. I can lose like 7 pounds, no problem. You know, like. So
yeah, it's probably better for you.
I mean, it's healthy. Plus, I'm the smallest guy in the room when I was in college, so I only wrestle bigger guys. I mean, my training partner is Sorensen, who's a 49-pounder. DeSanto, Drake. I mean, 33. I don't wrestle anyone smaller than that, you know, really. So everyone I wrestle is bigger, so not bad weighing a little bit more. Good for my health, you know. Absolutely. And I can give them good feels, and I can wrestle guys and give them feeling. It's my job. Train, you know, help the college guys out.
So. All right, my last question, just in this vein, just because I'm curious, who's like the biggest guy you've like? Not just rolled with, but like actually practiced with.
Like a full practice?
Yeah, just like a real go, not just like rolling around having a little fun, but like actually.
Oh, I don't know. In college, I mean, when I was in college, I never wrestled above even 41.
Okay.
I mean, like that was the biggest I ever got in college. But out of college, I mean, I wrestled 49-pounders is the biggest probably, like that were in college. But I mean, the biggest guy I've ever wrestled was like I rolled around with like Warner and like. And Arnold and Caliendo like sparring, you know, but I'm not like live with those guys. But I don't go bigger than 49. My ego is not like that. I'm not like gonna be like, I've been hurt enough, you know.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like they'll be like, you want to go? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna go with that guy, you know. So.
What about Keisuke?
Yeah, but the thing about Keisuke is he was a 74 kilo guy, but he only weighs like 155 pounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so like he was also a 65 kilo guy, but his brother, you know, was also
Yeah.
65. So one of them had to go 74, and he was bigger. So he just lifted and got bigger. And then, it was like artificial. It wasn't real. So when he got, done competing, he just kind of shrunk, So, because I trained with him a lot. I haven't trained with him a lot lately because we actually did a match one time, and he like hit me in a super nice single leg, and I wizard hard, and I kneed him straight in the face, and I broke his orbital bone in his face.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I didn't wrestle him for like 4 months, 3 months, 4 months, probably since the match with Ono. I haven't wrestled him because I heard him like a month later.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I haven't wrestled him like almost at all. So he's just now getting back on the mat, so I felt bad because he's awesome. But yeah, he's probably the biggest guy I would go with. Him, Sorensen are a little bit bigger, but they're also like, they're not, their egos are gone. They're retired, like, like they're the best. Like they can turn it on and like, Tom's like, hey, get him, then they go hard, but I'm also hard to wrestle sometimes. I'm short, stocky, I'm strong, so it's hard to get underneath me, It sucks wrestling a little guy when they're like strong, like kind of match your strength,
Yeah.
That's not fun. So
Well, you don't look fun to wrestle at all, Spencer, if I'm being honest.
It's probably worse in practice just because I weigh more probably, but
Yeah. Well, now I want to watch you in practice.
Anytime.
Yeah. Well, Spencer, man, it's always great catching up with you. You got anything else before we let you get back to your day?
No, I'm just excited to compete. It's been first world championship. I think that's absolutely insane. I was joking with Snyder. I was like, what is this? Your 11th senior or world Olympic championship? This is my second. I'm like 2 years younger than you. That's pretty unfortunate. So I'm excited for my first opportunity to compete on the world stage.
Well, we're excited to watch you, Spencer. Thanks so much for your time.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks.